Oh my goodness. What is that underneath the refrigerator? Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Designer Savvy. Today's video is a little cleaning and a little home maintenance. And it all starts with the refrigerator water filter. Well, maybe we'll take a slight detour. I just spotted this lime build up and this ugly stain in the water and ice dispenser area. Well, my husband has nicknamed me Beagle, and I guess rightfully so, but I can't stand it. I'm going to tackle it with Comet Classic, this bread and butter knife, and this scrubber. Let's see what happens. Whoa, big difference, don't you think? Now we're going to tackle those harsh yellow stains. Okay, I'm going to first use the Totally Awesome cleaner, and I'm going to let it set for about 5 minutes so it can do most of the work for me. Then we're going to give it a scrub, see what happens. Then I'm going to follow up with Comet Classic, as bleach will be needed to probably get rid of most of that stain. All it took is a little elbow grease, and I'm really happy with the results. Now this beagle needs to get back on the trail and tackle this water filter. We get our filters from Amazon, but you can also get them from Walmart. It's roughly $20 to $25 for a 2-pack. They're very easy to install. You actually turn the little knob counterclockwise, and there are instructions in the box. If you meet with resistance, just give it a little yank. But before removing the filter, we actually want to remove the front vent cover, as you can see me doing here. And sometimes that's a little challenging. You just have to pull straight back on the hooks on either end. And then hopefully you won't be as disgusted as I was when you pull it off. So in case we think we're such good house cleaners, sometimes we get surprised a little bit. We can't see everything, and unless we are intentional with our cleaning, sometimes, this is what is hiding, just waiting for us. This is what was under my refrigerator. Isn't that gross? And we breathe that in, and we wonder maybe why our refrigerator doesn't cool the way we would like it to and work the way it was meant to work and be as efficient as it's meant to be. This is why. This should be cleaned often. I'm vacuuming the vent cover. Then I take it to the sink. I clean most of the dirt off, rinse most of the dirt off. Then I'm going to spray it with my Totally Awesome cleaner. Let it sit for a couple of minutes and then rinse it, and we'll be ready to reinstall. Now we're ready to tackle the beast. This is so disgusting, but we've got to remove it. It was so thick in places. I had a hard time sucking it up in the vacuum, but cleaned it as best I could, and then I went back and washed it down. Guys, can you believe the amount of dust and dirt? So here's my hand. That is a lot, and it was so thick it wouldn't suck up in this hose. And not only that, canister is half full with this stuff. Guys, this is why our appliances don't work to their optimum level. They can't, because they can't get air. So let me show you under here. That is where I have already swept. Now that stuff is really stuck on there, so I'm gonna have to do a little scrubbing. Might be able to do a little bit more vacuuming, but that dust and dirt is way back in there. If you can see, let me point. Really dirty and dusty. Filthy, actually. Yeah. So honestly, I don't even remember if we cleaned out from under here when we moved in a little over 2 years ago. But anyway, this should be done at least once a year and probably should be done twice a year. If your refrigerator can't get the proper amount of airflow, then it's not going to keep your foods as cold as it possibly could. Now, in just a minute, after I'm through cleaning, what prompted this whole thing was that water filter. I'm going to change a water filter, show you how to do that. We're going to get this all cleaned up, and then I'll show you that, and we'll go from there. So here's the water line. You want to be careful when you're cleaning because you don't want to loosen that, or you will have lots of water underneath your refrigerator. And I am pointing to the little canister back there with the red cap. That's what the water line attaches to, so that needs to stay secure and tight. And be careful while you're cleaning under here. There's lots of sharp metal. Now that I've let the vacuum sweeper do as much of the work for me here as possible, it's time for a little elbow grease, and I'm going to get soap and water and probably some of that Totally Awesome cleaner, and clean this up the best that I can, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So everything that I could possibly reach, I cleaned. And from this camera's view, there's still a good bit more dust and dirt back in there. Not quite sure how to get to that. But at least all of this is gone from off of the front of that grate and back there on the floor. So this alone will make a huge difference in how this refrigerator cools our food and keeps our food frozen. Okay guys, so we're about to change this filter. You want to put a rag down first, because when you take the old filter out, there'll be a little bit of water that leaks out of it. If you have hardwood floors, you won't necessarily want that water puddling on your hardwoods. Okay, so what you're going to do is, this is an exterior cap, at least on my model of refrigerator. I'm not sure if it's on all models or not, but this is the cap that's on our water filter. So you want to use both hands and twist really, really hard to the left. Once you do that, the filter pops out, and there's the water leaking out. So here's the cap, and it just slides right off. So there's a little plastic cap on the tip of the filter. You just want to remove that. So if you look back down the shaft of where we're going to insert the water filter, you can see that it kind of has some notched out edges in there. And those edges match these notched out edges that you see right here. So as you're inserting the filter, you'll need to twist it and turn it until you know that those edges are matching up down at the bottom of the canal. And we're going to add this cap back on to this filter. We're going to insert it. As you can see, it'll meet with resistance until it's in there just the right way. So guys, as you push it in, you're going to turn it clockwise, this way, that way, okay? And you're going to hear a little bit of air release. That's fine. Just make sure you tighten it a little bit. Don't over tighten. You don't want to break it, but tighten it going that way. So don't worry, instructions do come with this filter. We do have to run water for 3 minutes through the dispenser to flush the filter. So we're going to set the timer, and we're going to do this for 3 minutes. We're going to keep filling up cups of water, dumping it out, and we are going to hear a little bit of that air pressure in the water line of the refrigerator. That's okay. It'll get better and better as it gets closer to that 3 minute mark. So this just flushes out any residue that's left in the water line from the old filter, and it also lets the air out of the line. If you should happen to change your filter in the spring or the summertime, have a bucket handy to dump this water in so you can save the water, recycle it, repurpose it, and use it to water your flowers. Okay, we are almost at the end of the 3 minute mark. I think one more cup and we'll be done. And the last thing that we're going to do, I wanted to make sure everything worked properly, is we're going to put that cover back on the bottom of the refrigerator. Okay, so this is going to be our last cup. Okay, all clean, don't see any residue in there. So everything's working great. There's no leaks, no water dripping from anywhere. So we're ready to place the cover back on the bottom. There's 2 notches under here, and they're metal. That one and that one. And that's where these fit in. The front vent cover is back in place, and we're all done. If you changed your water filter along with me today, leave a comment below. If you found today's video helpful, you'll want to watch the video linked above. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, as it really helps me to grow my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching.